On this week's episode, we're going to be covering a riff that you guys have been asking me to talk about on my channel here for a really long time, which is that bridge riff in Disposable Heroes by Metallica. It's not really all that hard to play or anything like that, but I see it tabbed out wrong all the time. Check it out. Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new installment of Weekend Wankshop, here with your good buddy, Uncle Ben. On today's episode, we're going to be digging through another classic Metallica riff, this time from the Master of Puppets record, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. And this is that bridge riff in Disposable Heroes. It's the riff that comes up before the solo, and then there's like a little variation on it that takes place during the solo that we'll check out, and then it's after the solo as well, which is kind of nice. It's sort of a good oasis in the middle of the song to let your picking hand calm down after all that stuff that you do earlier in the tune. This is one of those songs that if you want to work on your endurance, learn this song and learn it correctly, because if you can get through the first like 2.5 minutes of this tune, you are a beast. And as always, you guys can find a full tab for this week's lesson over on my Instagram page over at Ben Eller Guitars. Give me a follow, find the tab for this week's lesson, learn how to play it, then upload a video of yourself shredding through it along with the hashtag Weekend Wankshop. Okay, so this riff is in standard tuning and it's pretty simple to play, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. Now the very first time that you hear the riff in the song is around the 4-minute mark, 4:05, something like that. And you'll notice that the very first time only, the first chord sounds different than all of the subsequent times through the riff. And there's two different sides to this. There's a left side guitar and the right side guitar. The left side guitar starts off by playing this high E power chord, like I did in the intro. This is my 7th fret A string and my 9th fret D string. Hits both of those strings and kind of slides down the neck before continuing the rest of the riff. Now that's again the left side guitar. If you listen to the right side, you're going to hear something slightly different. You're going to hear this. Okay? Instead of the E power chord, he instead plays like an E minor dyad. So this is my 7th fret A string and my 5th fret D string. Like that. So again, if you want to play the left side guitar, do the power chord. If you want to do the right side guitar, do the dyad. Either way, after you hit that chord and slide off, we're going to start the riff proper after this. Now here's what I did first there. I hit a palm muted open low E string. Then I'm going to do a power chord right here. This is my 5th fret E string and my 7th fret A string. No palm muting either. You're going to hit those two strings and do a pull off to open with your first finger. Notice how this finger stayed down. It didn't come off it or anything like that. Then what you're going to do is to give you another open low E string palm muted chug, and then you're going to do a G power chord. So that's 3rd fret E, 5th fret A. And do the same thing that you did before, where you hit the power chord and then pull off to open with your first finger. Next, what you're going to do is the same idea, just move down a half step. Palm muted chug. Then you're going to do the 2 on the E and the 4 on the A, with that first finger pulling off to open. And again, you can really hear that he's letting that finger stay held down from those power chord shapes, and he's just pulling that off. You end up with this melody up top that goes. And once you're aware of it, you can really hear it on the record. I think that's what leads people to think there's like a weird harmony or something going on with this riff, because they can hear that melody up top, but don't sometimes realize it's just pulled off power chords. Okay, so your first time through, you got your high sliding thing and then walking down the neck with those power chord pull-offs, right? Now here's where stuff gets a little bit different. You're going to end with one more chug on the low E string, just open palm muted low E. And then from here, this is where the riff restarts. And instead of restarting on that high E power chord for all of the other times through the riff, they're going to be starting on a low E power chord. So basically what I'm saying here is replace this with this, open low E string, 2nd fret A string. Just a 2-note power chord like that. And again, every other time through the riff, you're always going to be restarting there. You'll never come back to the high E again. It's only that very first time. So this second time through here, you're going to hear a different ending as well. Check it out. Now you can hear that all the other stuff was the same. The chug, the A, the chug, the G, the chug, the F sharp. And then at the very end, instead of going, you go. So in other words, instead of ending with an open low E string chug, it ends with a power chord before you hit another power chord to restart the riff, okay? And again, every other time through past that very first time when you play it high, it's gonna alternate ending with a chug and ending with a chord. I'll play it a few times here so you can see what I'm talking about. The chug, chord, chord, the chug, chord, chord. Okay, I just want to cover one more thing in this video with you guys, and that's a little variation that James throws in on this riff behind Kirk's solo. And it's pretty much the exact same riff, only instead of doing one chug before those power chord pull-offs, you're gonna do two instead. Needless to say, that's all downstroke stuff. Don't alternate pick, that won't sound right. But yeah, basically it's the exact same riff. Just be sure to do two chugs before each one of those power chords. Pretty simple, just thought I would go ahead and address that while I had your attention. So there you go, guys, another Metallica classic decoded. Be sure to check out my other videos on the Weekend Wankshop playlist that cover hard to transcribe riffs from Fight Fire with Fire, Master of Puppets, and all kinds of other tunes as well. I'm always open to taking requests, so be sure to let me know what other classic Metallica riffs you have always wanted to know how to play but could never quite figure out or find an accurate tab for. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Ben Eller Guitars or over on my Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/UncleBenEller. And if you're interested in booking some one-on-one Skype lessons with me, be sure to drop me an email, benellerguitars@gmail.com. Thanks again so much for watching, and now it's time to get off of this dang computer and go play some guitar. Less clicking, more picking.